This episode of Vic's Basement is brought to you by EB Games. Support us by buying your video games at EB Games. Welcome to my basement, everybody!
Hey.
Hello!
Hi, thanks so much for waiting. If you've been waiting in the chat for us, we're here now.
Thanks for being here.
We're live.
Thanks for being here, guys.
It's happening. People
Happy
are
Force
making
Friday.
comments about us using a different streaming service. We were just talking about.
Well, it's
YouTube.
It's a culmination of a whole bunch of things, but we're working out this technical stuff. We've changed up our microphone situation. We got a lot of comments about people not digging the lavs that we use, the lavalier mics that we normally use for the TV show. Yeah. And you're allowed to talk now. You go ahead. Go right ahead. Is your mic not working? Oh, it's not working. Right. He's already effed up his microphone.
Oh, I'm here.
There it is. There it
Hey,
is.
Vic, how are you?
Yeah, good.
You don't like my jokes today. The weird thing is, looking at the screen of us together, Vic has a huge head, yet it's very small from this angle. My head is actually the smallest of the three of us.
Guys, we're still having some technical difficulties.
And we're still having some technical difficulties.
They can hear us, but they can't see us.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Maybe
no,
that's
they
for the
can see
best.
us. I can see us.
Maybe that's for the best.
I can see us.
Maybe it's best that they can't see us.
Guys, I can see us.
Video's working.
Yeah.
Some people can see us.
Yeah, so we're fine. We're just going to keep going.
Then.
Just you guys can. I can.
Some people in the chat can see us, some people can't.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's all good.
Bullshit technology.
Yeah, this is
going on?
incredibly complicated.
I want to make a moment here. I want to make a memory with everybody.
You know what it is? It's the titles and the graphics and all that other stuff. If we just had a cell phone and we just went, go live, it would all work.
Let's be honest. Vic and I are old.
Yeah. I don't want to be dishonest. I'm not going down this road with you.
You're
on
going.
This.
You're
no,
going.
don't do it. You do it.
But we like old time radio shows. Like we listen to The Shadow. Some nights I listen to the Yankee Game. But I don't know why we have to do all this complicated video show now. Why can't we just listen to the show somehow? Why do we always have to be on display? Oh, look at me. Look at me. I'm so pretty. Take a photo of me. Look at these. They're real.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what
I don't think so. I think we're just we're getting together with our friends and people that watch the shows.
They watch the show. That's enough for today.
That's awesome.
Jones,
this is good.
What is wrong with you?
You missed
There's nothing wrong with me.
Live in, okay?
You
I don't like it.
You missed
I don't
the audio
like
only
this.
podcast.
I miss the audio only podcast.
Well, guess what? We always do have an audio only podcast.
Last week,
every week we have an audio only podcast.
Last week on the show, I had my toupee on backwards,
and it just it's you. It's your
so
superficial. You're getting
up to. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks in Vic's basement.
Yeah.
So what's been going on?
I really didn't miss you. Did we not do it last week?
No, not last week.
We didn't do it last week because we finished the move. We're fully over. It took a long time. We got the stuff that we needed to make everything every day. Apparently, we still need to get some stuff for our podcast together. But we got all the TV show stuff, all the post stuff. All of that is over and done. We are officially in our new facility, which is much better.
Yeah.
We had to take last weekend off.
This is a funny microphone because I feel like it's a prop from a Broadway show.
Yeah. Well, you do look like
a
Larry
guy
King.
who enjoys radio shows.
You've been doing Larry
the 1940s.
King. Yeah, Garrison.
Welcome back to Larry King Live. Up next, we're going to have Bishop Desmond Tutu. Bishop Desmond Tutu. Why are you laughing at me?
I like it. I think that's good. I think we should have Bishop Desmond Tutu on the show. I think it'd be great.
And then next week we're going to have Kevin Spacey on. Tune in then. Thank you. This is Larry King Live.
Was that, what is it, Garrison Keillor? Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
He's one of them who does the shows.
He does the radio type shows, right?
Right. I need you to stop doing though because you want to
chewing gum,
you
right?
need to not chew
gum.
That is like number
Will you
one.
please stop complaining?
What would Pat say? You're going to stick it under the table. Everybody saw you do that.
What are you talking about?
That's awful.
You listen, I'm going to find things about you two that I'm going to pick apart now, okay?
All right.
Okay, go ahead.
Your head is huge and your hair's a mess today. Your head is huge and your hair's a mess.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
I worked hard on making it a mess. Happy Force Friday, everybody.
Yeah, happy
Did anybody
Force
buy any
Friday.
Star Wars toys?
Jesus, they don't have money. They're watching a free TV show.
I want to know if they bought any Star
They
Wars
did not
toys.
buy
Somebody
any.
might have bought a Star Wars
They
toy.
didn't.
Yes.
Just your mic people are saying.
No one is saying anything.
I'm looking at the chat right now.
Too close to the mic.
God damn it, this mic, I hate it.
Eating the mic.
Well, I'm supposed to be chewing in the mic. It's not better. Anyway, so it is Force Friday. It's very exciting. I have my two buddies in front of me right now. I should have worn my R2-D2 dress.
Right.
But I did not. It's fine. I'll save it for another day. But
You're kind of like that robot in Star Wars that Luke didn't buy from the Jawas?
Okay.
R5D4.
R5D4.
Is that right?
Let's call Marissa R5D4 for the rest of Force Friday. Okay, everybody?
Have you guys seen the BB-8 toy and all the hype that's out there? Empire magazine in the UK had a BB-8 cover. They're putting all of this love and adoration on BB-8.
I don't know what that is.
It's the round rolling droid.
I thought that was
Pretty cool.
It looks so cool.
And there is a Sphero
There's a
BB-8 thing that's out now. It's $150. I can't wait to check one of those things out. But it feels like these two guys fully ignored.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're like,
Left
okay,
in the dust.
yeah, right. And the 6 Star Wars movies, I know we only count 3, but all of the Star Wars movies have had both of these two guys in there, and it's almost been their saga as much as any of the main human characters.
Sure, we
and
feel
now,
for them.
Right, now they're just in the shadow. Who cares? We got this new ball droid, and that's who we love.
R2D5.
Yeah.
R5D4.
R5D4.
Maybe the ball droid won't be.
The bald droid?
Ball droid.
Bald?
Maybe it won't
Is he-
be as
Is
exciting.
he phallically challenged?
No, he's a round. You've seen it. It's the Sphero. It's the ball droid.
Oh, it's Sphero. Well, do we have a regular name for him?
BB-8.
BB-8.
You
It's
should,
the
everybody
ball
knows that.
droid?
It's the ball droid. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks
So-
like a soccer ball. He looks like the FIFA droid.
The movie first, before
Yeah.
we get jizz everywhere about the toys.
Well, there's already jizz everywhere about the movie, and it hasn't even come out yet. So
No, there's not. My jizz is still where it belongs,
You're like
inside.
the
But they've shown Luke and they've shown Leia and they've shown Han and Chewie. These two, forgotten.
We don't need them.
Trash heap.
They had their
what
moment.
what happened? I mean, are they just in the?
77. We don't need them.
Blake, no spoilers.
Because I've read.
No spoilers.
spoil
Tell you why you haven't seen much.
No spoilers. We don't want to know anything.
Because I'm like, no. Blake already knows
He
too
knows
much.
exactly what's going on. But yeah, we don't see R2 or C-3PO, and so this is our celebration of C-3PO and R2D2 right here.
Everybody enjoy your Force Friday. Listen, Blake every week sends us an email in which he makes a list of all the things that we could possibly talk about on the
Right.
show. Now,
Thank you, Blake.
Thank you, Blake, for doing that. And this week I would like to do what I
welcome.
call, or what we call back east, a circle back. We're going to circle back, and we're going
Okay.
to celebrate Blake a little bit.
That's what you call that
Circle back.
back east?
So this is the email Blake sent us today, and the first thing on the list, oh, can you believe this? All the Star Wars Force Friday toys that were announced. We already talked about that.
No, well, we talked about one.
Oh, well, do we need to
There's
go
another
on?
one. It's a Millennium Falcon drone. Have you guys seen
Did you
this
order
thing?
it?
I haven't ordered anything
All right.
because
Wait.
I bought a lot of crap
Yeah.
Let's
the last time around.
What did you
let's-
just say?
With the Phantom Menace, I bought a lot of that stuff.
First time
Okay.
Blake has ever admitted
Called
to
his
buying a
stuff
lot of
crap.
crap.
Well, I bought a lot of like these toys and figures. I got looped into all the. I guess Hasbro had picked up the Kenner line for the second go round on the second trilogy. Bought it all pre-seeing the movie. I think I
Bad.
have some of those, and the movies ended up being very deflating, as we've discussed many times, right? And I don't
disappointing.
I don't think that's going to happen this time.
Emotionally crushing.
But I'm going to wait. And that taught me a very important lesson. And I usually do
What
not
was that
buy
lesson?
action figures or toys based on movies until I see the films. I did make
Smart.
that mistake one more time, though,
Oh.
only because it was.
So
it was
apparently
again.
that lesson
no,
wasn't.
no, it was only because it was
learned.
kitschy and I love the character, and it was a Lego Lone Ranger set and had Lone Ranger and Tonto,
Regrettable.
and that movie sucked. And every day I think about that terrible
Okay,
Lone
listen,
Ranger.
I'm going to do the circle back here.
Every
Okay.
day I think about
I
how
do.
that movie burned
Okay, I'm
me.
going to go through all these things.
But I do like my little Lego Lone Ranger set.
Guys,
Yes. Okay.
Borderlands movie announced, Assassin's Creed movie, first photo of Michael Fassbender
Yeah.
in costume. I'm just going to buzz through these so we can circle back.
I don't
Okay.
understand why you need to list them all. Why can't
I
we-
want to celebrate Blake. Can we not
Today's
celebrate
episode
our coworkers?
brought to you by Circles.
I just don't understand.
Shovel Knight amiibo.
We're going to circle back on that.
Vin Diesel hints at Iron Giant sequel. Thank you, Blake. That was
Really?
great. Yeah, this is on
Really?
the list. Do you not read Blake's email?
I haven't
Blake
read
sends
this
to
yet.
you.
No,
well,
I
that's
haven't.
why I'm sharing
That's
it with
why
you.
we're doing this.
No, we
Yes.
Cliffy B's
We were in
new
a movie.
game,
We couldn't read the email.
LawBreakers. Can I say that again, guys? Let me
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Cliffy B's
Circle
new
back
game.
on that one.
I'm really going to smack you.
Okay.
You do that to people all the time. All you do is disrupt people.
Go to sleep. Cliffy B's new game, LawBreakers, is announced.
Yeah.
Nintendo says they're open to making movies.
Yeah.
It's like I might come out of the closet. I don't know what that means.
That
We're
you did that
open.
already.
You've already done that.
XCOM 2 delayed until 2016.
Right.
Boo. Deus Ex Mankind Divided, stupid tiered pre-order bullshit. That's Blake's exact words.
How do you feel about that, Blake?
No, we know.
It's bullshit.
Deadpool remastered game. Halo 5 opening cinematic is cool, Blake says. Xbox... Well, you did say it.
It is cool.
Xbox One Elite Bundle and sexy controller.
Do we know what the price on that thing is yet?
$150.
No, the controller's $150.
$200.
I don't know if they've announced how much the bundle costs yet, but I'm going to check right now.
Okay.
Normal-sized new 3DS coming to North America. Star Wars Battlefront is getting an open beta. We talked about that in the news this week.
This is a week, man. There's a lot of stuff going
This is
on.
actually 2 weeks.
Oh, okay, all right.
Show last week.
Uncharted 4 gets a release date.
Yes.
Blake, thank you very
Yes.
much.
May 16th, right?
No, I don't know what it is.
March 16th.
Or March 16th, yeah.
On
March
Uncharted
16th,
4, yeah.
2016. And the movie's still scheduled for 2017 for Uncharted.
Yes.
Yeah. So video game movies, Fast and Furious, they're
I don't know
coming.
why.
Oh, and one thing that wasn't on that list, because it happened after I sent out the email, there's a rumor that they're making a Mega Man movie.
A live-action Mega Man movie?
I don't know if it's live action or animated.
Because we have the Mighty Number 9 movie
Yes.
that Tim Carter is producing.
So this is Capcom's fuck you to them.
You think?
Probably, yeah.
Right. If they can do a Mighty Number 9 movie, we can
Yes.
make a Mega Man movie. Well, it makes sense.
I haven't checked, but I would not be surprised if Avi Arad were producing it.
Right.
Because he produces everything.
Yeah, he's involved in all of this, these tentpole type franchise type things.
Yeah, like
I just
Lost
saw him.
Planet. Do you remember the Lost Planet movie? That was great.
Well, he
yeah.
tries to get them together. He tries to pull them off. I mean, it's a lot of work. What are they saying about Blake?
No, there's just somebody that needs to be booted.
Oh, somebody needs to be booted out of the chat.
I'll get on it.
Thanks,
Anyway,
buddy.
guys, we are coming into the kind of it's our busy season,
Yeah.
frankly. All the great games. We were just talking about this. Victor Lucas and I took a cab to the studio today, and we were talking about the fact that the video game industry is still structured in a very strange way. All of the big, purposeful AAA games come out in the same 3-month span, basically.
Yeah.
We've got one now. We're playing it frantically.
There's 2 now.
Our review, well, the one we're working on is Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Review will be coming soon.
Next Wednesday.
And next Wednesday, right? And what's the other one? Sorry.
Well, Mad Max came out on the same day, and Marissa and I played that and reviewed that already. And
Yeah.
it's a really, really solid game. It's tons of fun, but in direct contrast to Mad Max, because they're both open world set in desert type locations.
Yeah.
You know, and I played them both back to back now. It doesn't hold a candle, you know, and it also doesn't hold a candle to Shadow of Mordor or Batman. And
No, well, I think it holds a candle to it, but just a dim one. Like, there's not enough there to keep me coming back for more,
Yeah.
and it's just not one of those games that makes you... I just don't feel good when I play it. There's nothing that makes
there's
me
no
feel-
redeeming, like you play a psychotic and you
Yeah.
just waste a lot of psychotics. So
Yeah.
it's not, you're not rallying around
No,
the
like-
heroism of the main
Yeah.
character.
I
There's
don't-
a lot to do, though, and a lot
Yeah.
of places to go, for sure.
I mean, I think if it was fun to waste a psychotic, then I think you would enjoy doing it more. I think it's really a gameplay fault, not necessarily a conceptual fault. I see what you're saying.
It is fun though. I mean, that's the core
That
of
might
it is
be
fun.
enough.
You
There is some
harpoon
fun, for
cars and you drag them over and you rip off doors and then you grab the dude with your harpoon. You grab the dude and flip him right out of the car.
Yeah.
The combat stuff all works. The exploration I think was a really big
Very
letdown.
cool. I think it's very cool to go into that.
A lot to see, but you don't have the mobility, right? You want to feel like
Right.
you're Nathan Drake and you can clamber and climb.
My
all
question
kinds of
is-
stuff.
Yeah,
you
that's
can't
true.
do it.
and we didn't answer it.
Yeah.
Why do we still release all of our games in this sweet spot, like right here at the end of the year, when we've had months, literally months at this point, where we've had almost nothing to do?
Right.
You know, and so now we're going to pack it all in. We're going to start. Usually, every year it's the same. Start with Madden, and then it just doesn't stop until basically December 15th.
Oh, I
Well,
know.
there's been a change though in the last few years, and that's all that. Like we just talked about, Uncharted's slip into March, into spring, because some of these games are so ambitious and heavy. They do slip into the early part of the following year, and we saw Witcher 3 come out late this year.
Batman was late.
Batman was late, came out in the summer of this year, so that's starting to happen.
Was it Mad Max late too?
Yes, it was. It was delayed, and that's starting to happen as well. But it's not by a smart, calculated. Let's expand the release calendar kind of thinking, like the movie business has kind of been. It has to do, right, because they only get their Fridays and their weekend play, so they all have to kind of work together to figure out how to create a nice collection of titles for us to be excited about throughout the year. Video game industry is so hyper competitive and so closed off from each other that, you know, like, what are we getting on November 4th is Fallout, and there's another big game I think that's coming out on that same day. And it's just going to...
Nobody's going up against Fallout.
I think something is coming out against Fallout, and it's good. I think it's Tomb Raider. I think it might be Tomb Raider that's coming out on the same day, right?
No, man, you can't. Those are two games that you need to just spend a whole week with that one game on its own. You can't jump from Fallout to Tomb Raider. You can't put one down to pick up the other.
And it's the same way I feel about Mad Max. Mad Max would have been awesome. Like a month ago.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Even April. May.
Yes.
Like, there were so many opportunities. I mean, you look back at games.
Well, the movie came out then, so it would have been really smart
Better,
if,
you know.
Right, but you look back over the year and you look at games like Bloodborne, which I know has done well critically, and I think the sales are pretty good. But, I mean, I would like to see the hard, cold sales figures on games that are AAA games that come out in the so-called off-season compared to the games that come out in Q4.
Yeah.
This is I just don't understand why gamers are just left in the lurch. And, you know, we work in this industry, and I know what it's like to run a website. I know what it's like to work on this TV show, and it's hard to make editorial around this stuff when nothing is happening, and there's nothing happening. Literally, like, there really nothing's happened really since Bloodborne. I can't really, or Batman is the last big game that came out.
Hang on, sorry, just to interrupt for a second. I found out how much the Xbox One Elite bundle costs.
Okay.
It costs $499 plus tax, so $500, which I think is the same price as the regular.
That's not bad, yeah.
So that's the same price as the regular.
No, it's $399 now. Is it a 1 terabyte drive for
the 1 terabyte drive
terabyte.
with the Elite.
With the Elite controller?
Not the white one, but just the black.
That's pretty good. I didn't know that. That's awesome. I thought I was expecting it to be about $600 with that extra controller.
When you
game,
have the
though.
original.
You don't
There's
get a
no game, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what's happening now with all the bundles and all that stuff. That's still
No game, yeah.
if you're serious about jumping into the Xbox
if you wait
One,
6 months, you will get a game for free.
probably right. Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's the way the business works as well. Is the delays on all of this stuff.
But I feel like go ahead.
I would say, or trade in your original Xbox One and get a bunch of games and purchase the new one. You can do that.
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah.
Because I might save like $10.
No, I'm not going to say. I'm still to spend the money on the new console, but get a bunch of games for my Xbox, my OG Xbox that doesn't have the 1 terabyte. I want that terabyte. I want it.
How do you I mean, you've been doing this for a couple of years and you've been doing it for 100 years, but how do you live your life differently this time of year?
Well, you know what it is? It's kind of like you. I mean, the weather turns, and it's amazing in Vancouver. I don't know how many people have been watching or live in Vancouver that watch the show or are watching this right now. But the weather just seemed to switch off. It just okay, it was hot. Boom. Okay, now it's
This
fall.
is the first time in months that we all have had good night's sleep. I mean, we just don't sleep well in the warm weather.
But it's amazing that also times into how much you want to just go home and play games, right? Bless you. I mean, it's great gaming weather when it's totally pouring rain out there, and you just want to hunker. And the other part of our jobs all year long, especially through the summer, is to go off and get all of these interviews and these stories and the content that we filter throughout the year about what's coming up.
Summer is really challenging in a completely different way on this side of it, for sure. It's just going out and getting all these things done. We have these moments this November month that's coming.
You were traveling for 2 weeks straight.
We do. That's when I love this time, actually. I know it sucks because you have to take in a lot of content, but it's also great because I have the perfect excuse to stay inside, and I love staying inside and just being a loner and saying no to people. We get to take in a lot of content.
We all really need to get social lives.
I kind of like not having
too much.
Though.
No, I am too. I'm saying too, I really want to start connecting with people. I'm so lonely, guys.
Do you know what this podcast is?
Listen,
do you know what this it's called Vic's Basement, and we celebrate all the fun that we have in Vic's Basement. That's what we do.
Can we talk about the production meeting we had in the car on the way here? Can we please about the new show that we're going to come up with?
I don't know what it was called.
Come on.
We forget it. It was a funny joke though. Do you remember all the details?
Yeah, what was the show called?
Yeah, see, you don't remember it. That's why I didn't talk about it either. I couldn't remember.
Blake knows.
It's a blast.
It's a blast. So the show's called It's a Blast.
Star Victor Lucas. Yeah, life is a blast.
Yeah, he loves
you guys having a blast today? Blast on. Blast powers activate.
The next segment would be throwing to Scott. Let's go to Scott and see what he's doing. And he's like, he's not having a blast. He's always miserable. He's in the rain.
He's in the
got out
rain.
in the rain.
He's in the rain.
We went over this.
He's drooping. He's got 2 droopy cats beside him.
It was funny
I've
in the
got
car.
a bouncing
It's not funny
happy dog
here.
beside me. I think we should do
He's
that.
got puppies.
Yeah.
Also,
Scott's got cranky cats.
You ruined the illusion that Vic and I took a cab to work. We didn't really. But I gotta ask.
It's a good illusion.
I gotta ask. Anyway, I gotta ask
We
you a
were all in the
question.
car together.
I gotta ask you a question.
What?
Yeah.
What is Jose like in real life? Because
Please
you
don't.
worked with him
You
recently.
can't lean into the microphone.
I thought
We've already
that's what I had
discussed
to
this.
do.
No, don't lean into the microphone, okay?
You know what it's like? It's like you talking directly into someone's ear.
Please don't do it.
Will you not touch me again? I will smack you, woman.
Oh my god.
What's Jose like
He's
in
really
real life?
okay. First of all, Scott C. Jones is really not this misogynistic in real life. He only puts it on for the camera. And Jose is.
He's in the It's a Blast show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Jose is definitely.
Jose and I hosting the It's a Blast show.
Jose
Everything
would
is
be for sure with Vic all the time. Everything is fun. Everything is awesome all the time.
Guys,
So-
it really is.
It really is. And,
Guys.
Well, I'm not as far on the It's a Blast side. I'd be like more neutral. But Jose is always having fun. The last time I saw him was at SummerSlam, and clearly he was in heaven.
Right.
Because he just loves wrestling so much, and he's so excited all the time.
We can't talk about the specifics, but we just reviewed a movie where I gave it a 2 and you gave it a 9. So you are my new Victor Lucas. All right?
Because you were wrong.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's what Vic says too.
Yeah, he's often wrong.
You know what though?
No.
Like even if it falls somewhere in the middle, you're still so wrong about that movie. I can't even tell you.
See, but I can tell that you're taking it personally, which is what Vic does when he makes a mistake. He takes it too personally, and I know that I'm on the right side.
I take everything personally.
I know you do.
So it's not just when I make a mistake. I take everything personally.
Yeah, because
so
we
I feel like
care.
you're attacking me.
Yeah, we care.
I am attacking you because you are wrong.
But Jose's fun to work with, right?
Jose is so much fun to work with.
Yeah.
No, he's a
Scott's
blast.
fun to work with sometimes too.
Yeah, just depending on his mood though. Like I don't know.
So I'm
what
moody.
kind of
So what?
Scott
I'm
gonna
honest.
get
I'm
every
just
day.
honest. I'm honest. And the thing is, it's like you guys and Jose have wasted a lot of our viewers' money. You have.
Oh, okay.
Right? You pointed
you're
them-
honest, and
you
you're
pointed
on your
them
high
towards-
horse.
No, you-
being honest,
you-
that's great.
you-
That's honestly, you're on your high horse.
They're driving
feeling
this
like
way,
you have the
and then
only
you're like,
viewpoint
"No, this
on the way that
movie's-
entertainment should be consumed.
This movie is about a 7. It's not that bad. Everyone tried hard working on it. Blah. And people go see
No,
it.
I
and
don't
then
think
they're
that I
like,
do that at all. I
no.
feel like
And it's like,
I am so.
Why did I go see this movie? It was
You
a
know
7.
how frugal I am.
Here's
I
the
would
thing
never
about
do that to
reviewing.
people.
We all have our own take on it, and we can only have our own take, and that's why we have to have 2 people having a conversation, and why I feel like Ebert and Siskel and Ebert nailed the format. They killed it, and they crushed it, and it was that honesty in that discussion that created the perfect platform for reviewing content, because in the middle of that conversation is how you might feel as well.
I'm not questioning the way you do your job. I think you're both great at your job. You just score things a little too high.
And you score things
Okay,
a little
yeah.
too low. So let's
Then it
just,
all evens out.
Yeah, it all evens out in the end.
Just so everyone in the chat knows, the movie that you guys were talking about, where Scott gave it a 2 and
No,
Marissa
you
We
can't.
can't tell. We can't say it.
we're not gonna, we can't tell you what movie it is,
Okay.
but it comes out on the 18th, and we
you
will
can
have that
figure it
review
out.
2
Yes.
weeks from now on the show.
Yes.
Definitely needs to
Yes.
Just letting everyone know.
Okay, thanks, brother.
Yeah. Also, somebody asked if you love or despise Greg Miller, and we love Greg Miller.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You
He's
guys
terrific.
You guys just broed out
Yes.
when he was in Vancouver.
Yeah, and
last.
I've seen Greg at a bunch of things,
Yeah.
you know, when he's at Comic-Con with IGN and stuff like that. We've connected a lot over the years. He's a good dude.
Yeah,
He's really
no,
good.
he really is.
I like all of those kind of funny guys. I think
Yeah.
it kind of blows me away that they do this all the time.
time.
Because I know how much work it is to get ready to do this. I guess that if they've decided that that's what they're going to do, that's
Yeah.
what they're going to do. We've done a totally different type of program where we, you know, go off and collect a bunch of stuff and shoot the things and play the things and
Yeah.
review the things and interview people, and then it all gets edited so that we look a lot smarter than what we really are, and
Right,
it gets
and they
put
just-
up on television.
and they just put it out
really
there.
don't touch my reviews. They're fine the way I do them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Except we cut them out sometimes when.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
Because you think you're right. The same way she thinks she's
Oh.
right. And so Can I just use this?
No, I just need you
Then
to
we'll
stop.
switch.
You're leaning in as if like you
know
need
how
to
to
do
talk
that.
into a microphone, and I clearly don't.
I just don't understand why
Stop
you keep doing
bothering
it.
me.
I just don't understand, though. Anyway, so yeah,
Yes,
we do.
Greg rocks.
We do love them, and we think they're
Why are we
really
answering a
fun.
Greg Miller question?
Somebody asked, and
Somebody asked.
he sucks at Mario Kart 64 a little bit less than I do.
Just a little bit less than Victor Lucas, but it's a tough game to get
hate
back
that
into
game.
when you haven't played it in a long time, right?
I
so
hate that game.
It's okay.
Mario Kart 8 rocks.
I don't mind Mario Kart 64. I actually like it a lot. I miss that controller. I really do. Playing Snowboard Kids.
Should we circle back?
Oh
ready
yeah,
to
are we gonna
circle
circle
back
back?
whenever.
You did
Let's
the
circle
list.
back. Let's circle back on.
Somebody in the chat asked you about one of those things I wrote. I wrote it down. Okay. Jean Nicholas wants to know what's everyone's personal opinion about the Deus Ex pre-order scheme. Used the word, or she used the word scheme.
Yeah, I think so, Blake. Go for it. Shoot.
Well,
Yeah, you.
Well, you guys already know it. It's bullshit.
Well,
It's the Kickstarter. It's the Kickstarter-ification of pre-ordering a game. And by the way, pre-ordering a game. Someone pointed this out. It's not pre-ordering. It's just ordering. Pre-order is kind of a
ordering.
stupid thing to call it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just like
That's
you
true.
you're already buying the game, and that's not enough. They have to like. It just seems like such a sleazy like they have their hand out like, come on guys,
This is
come
what's
buy our
happened
stuff.
with Kickstarter and early access.
Yeah, it's-
although there's a tremendous amount of virtue, and there's a new thing that's starting up right now. I forget what it's called, where you can actually invest in the games now, and you can be a participant. Tim Schafer is involved in this thing, which I think is a better kind of model and approach, but it is too transparent. And there's too much discussion about the business and the money, and he just burped off camera. That was very good.
off camera?
That was a great way to not
then he
pull
flew
attention.
away, and
Yeah,
then
that was good. I think that we are starting to get more and more cynical about all of this because we just know how the machine works and operates a little too much. And I feel like games have spent too much time telling us how difficult they are to make and how expensive they are and how hard, and we need to charge this and we need to charge that, and we've got a whole plan over here. And I feel like more effort just on building quality entertainment and really compelling stories around that entertainment is the better direction for this industry to go
The
into.
thing you have to remember about gamers, they're very intelligent.
Yeah.
They're very forward thinking. They like to plan. They like to understand things. They like to suss out any skunks if they can find them. But
And they like to have a blast.
they also like the game industry to be smarter than they are. And this is an instance, and I think that kind of explains Blake's rage, is it's a stupid move on their part, and it's a very small move, and it's not a very largesse kind of move. Everybody's a fan, but you've already created an opportunity for everybody to be negative about this.
Well, how many Kickstarter games have already done that, where the game turns out to be half of what they expected, or doesn't ship at all? And I think there's a lot of burnout and a lot of skepticism.
But I think if
How much early access stuff has been exploited?
If you're in the marketing department at these game developers, these game companies, you have to be looking ahead. You have to be smarter than the team is.
Yes.
Who's publishing Deus Ex? That's Warner Brothers, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that the transparency should be
Square.
it should be less about the monetization on your game, because that's what every damn story is around this. It's like we have to charge on this free-to-play thing so that we can have enough money to pay our people. I mean, there's just so many stories about we need to make money.
Yeah.
And it should be less about that.
But we know that they're also not very rich either. Like they've
I know.
got to find money.
We know that that's
games
the big
are more
struggle.
expensive
We know
than
that
they've
that's the
ever
big struggle.
been.
Yeah, I know. And there's layoffs all the time. That's always happening. But I think the story should be more about why this game matters and why this is creative and why we want your participation and why you should play it. And, that's what the story should be.
What about a
not just
Kickstarter?
feature hype, not just Kickstarter pledges, not just little platforms. Why does this piece of art need to exist in the world, and why you should care about it? That's what the transparency should be
But
about.
maybe that's where we need to go. If you want a new game, maybe there's just a whole long list. You're like, I want that game, that game, that game, and that game. And you just give money to those games. And you just become part of...
I think that's what you do, right? You
do, yeah. But I also feel like so much of the way that games have been priced and stuff like that is all being questioned right now. And I think that we are edging towards some kind of Netflix type of subscription kind of thing around digital access to a lot of game content. I mean, PlayStation Now is probably our closest approximation of that. And I think that the old dollar amounts and the old sort of expectations on what you pay have got to be scrubbed a little bit.
I went to a retailer. I don't need to say the name of the retailer. And I did two things in the last week. One day I went and I bought a PlayStation 4 and a copy of Bloodborne for a friend of mine who's going through a tough time.
That's nice.
And then I went back a few days later and I had to buy the Metal Gear game. And, with tax, it was over $80. And I know we're in Canada. Yeah. And all the dollars a little bit higher here for sure. But I just, that's such an investment. That's such a huge amount of money to go and spend on one game. And I just thought, how much game is here, for 80? It better be a lot of game in there for $80.
And that whole equation doesn't make sense anymore either, because we've had incredible experiences that are 6 hours long, that will stay with us forever. And I feel that
Vanquish.
Right. Eco, and I feel that the old model of paying that inordinate amount of money, or that crazy amount of money, to have just this massive thing that is, we talk about this is our friend Jason's two fridges, theory on game design, how there's just too much stuff that just takes up too much time. I mean, that was one of the biggest complaints I saw bandied about The Witcher, is that it's just too intensive. There's too much content in that thing that's going to take people forever. And Metal Gear is getting similar types of complaints. Yeah.
I think something's got to happen in the next, let's say 3 to 5 years. I think there's going to be there's a restlessness now, and there are little tweaks that somehow only make the problem worse. Yeah. But something's got to give, and in a very big way, and a huge change needs to happen. And I don't think it's going to come slowly. I think somebody's going to do something that's going to make a huge statement, and it's going to make us rethink the way we consume these things, the way we buy these things, and the way we store these things.
Well, I don't.
And it hasn't happened yet.
I don't want to, I don't want to make that prediction.
I'm making it. I'm going on the record.
But I think that you're right, but I don't know who it's going to be.
I don't know either.
But
it's exciting.
I think an interesting it might be David Perry again. I think PlayStation now has the capability, and if Xbox did something similar, maybe that's what the NX is going to be. Maybe that's Nintendo's whole thing, is you're just going to pay us a monthly fee and you're going to get everything that we've ever made.
The store,
that would be crazy.
The PSN store and the Xbox store still stink. Yeah. Everything's super expensive. I never feel and then you compare that with, say, the Steam store, where you always feel like you're getting a deal. I know you like deals. You feel like you're getting a deal in the Steam store. Things are on sale. Yeah. This is on sale. This is on sale for the next 72 hours. You're like, holy God. Then I turn my computer off, and then I think, maybe I should buy that. And then you might not ever play it, but now I own it. And now I have it on my hard drive on my computer. And I think they do it right. Yeah. But I still feel like there's such a consumer disconnect in the PSN and Xbox Live store. I just feel like there is. Yeah. You can kind of do things. I'm never buying a movie through PSN or Xbox. I'm not doing that. Yeah. I don't trust it. I feel like it's too expensive. I could probably get a better deal someplace else.
Well, and I think Apple is kind of struggling with music. I don't think that people are gravitating towards that in as big of a drove as that.
I cannot stand that update. I cannot stand
iTunes and all that stuff.
I'm so upset with my iTunes update.
It's so confusing when you load up iTunes, right? You don't know how to work any of that.
It takes forever. I just want to go into my app and press play on a song. I don't have to shuffle through things and then actually look
for all the ads of the things that you could be buying. Yeah.
Why did you do this to me?
New iTunes is atrocious.
It is
on
awful.
iOS.
Yeah, Johnny Ive should not be allowed to design software. He's terrible at it.
Well, it's their first kick at it, and they'll probably solve it. But here's the thing that I was going to say that's interesting about Apple is that next week is obviously the new iPhones are going to be coming out with their hardware or whatever. But the interesting thing.
Are you excited? You want a new iPhone?
I do.
I kind of do too.
They have a 4K camera.
It's time.
They have a 4K camera,
That's
apparently,
amazing.
which is ridiculous.
Well,
18 months.
Wait, but 4K just on the outside, not for selfies. Or 4K for selfies.
I don't know.
As well.
I don't. Just that there's a 4K camera in a cell phone.
That's what phones are doing now. That's the sell is if it's a good.
That advertising campaign
camera.
for the Apple stuff, it just says taken on an iPhone 6 or whatever, and I'm kind of blown away by those photographs.
The video on modern 6S and the 6 Plus, or the modern 6 and 6 Plus, incredible. The video is incredible.
Yeah.
But
so here's this console. Yeah.
They have the Apple TV. They've got their refresh on Apple TV, and I don't know exactly what the specifics are. It's all speculation right now, but I think it's been calculated leaks on getting people to think of a machine with more horsepower. You can download to it. You can play games on it. There will be some kind of controller integration with it for the first time. So Apple is taking games.
See this controller. It's an Apple first-party controller?
Yes, they're going to have I think it's going to be like a touch. I don't know what it is, but it's going to have some kind of motion tracking capabilities. Rumors of it's kind of Wii-like, but it will also work with the M-Fi controllers that have been on iOS. So if you bought one of those things,
Victor Lucas has a whole mountain of those.
and you Bluetooth in,
all useless.
I use them.
No, he does. He does.
I do use them. But I just think this is, I don't think Jobs would have done that. He had the opportunity to do that when he's still running things. But I think this is the new kind of take. The games on iOS are the most profitable center for Apple.
Well, that's the thing, because going back to all these huge games that are taking up so much of our lives, so much of our time, when we have this, I would much rather, if I had the option, yes, I love Skyrim so much. When I think about it, I think that maybe I should start over again and play that game again. But then, you know what? I have my Fallout Shelter on my phone, and I'll just get a quick gaming fix there and then put it down and go back to baking. You know what I mean? Like, you have your life around you.
They disrupted the mobile space in a huge way. I mean, they really made...
I think it's terrible that they're emphasizing games now, because they've ignored games for so long, and I think it's also maybe, and I don't know, have any data to back me up on this, but I feel like maybe it's a sign that they're in more trouble than we think they are. They've made a lot of money for sure.
They're not in trouble.
I mean, the watch has not been a huge raving success, and the phones have kind of plateaued, and there's a lot of catching up that's going on, and the fact that they feel like they might need some gaming money now makes me worried about them. They never needed it before.
Well, they've got a huge amount of investors that need to be satiated for sure, and now they're opening up into the Chinese market for the first time, and so they're looking at all of those things to sort of grow what they've been doing, but they want to get into cars, and they obviously wanted the watch to perform better, and there will be a successor probably next year.
I can't believe you don't have one.
It didn't draw me enough to want to get. I went and put it on.
A friend of mine, and he just had his watch sitting in his office, and I said, "What's that?" He's like, "Well, that's my watch, my Apple Watch," and he wasn't even wearing it, and I wore it around for half the day. It was kind of fun. Yeah. And then I was ready to leave it there too.
Yeah,
the band was really super beautiful.
Yeah,
I think the selling point for that watch is that you can actually sit and have a conversation, like you always ask people to do when we're sitting together. You never want us to take out our phones, and because sometimes we get messages and we don't know.
Because you two are fiends.
No, but the Apple Watch, like if you have that on, you'll feel a little notification on your wrist. Like you don't even have to look at it.
I sat with a friend of ours, Ryan Nicholas, and he had one of those watches. He's like, "Oh, I don't have my phone." I used to have his phone sitting right on the table with you guys, and instead his phone was gone. But now whenever his phone would go.
Does he have an Apple Watch? Yeah. Oh yeah, he got one.
Just take a look at like you don't need to. Just put it down so you don't have to pick up your phone. Like that's the only.
All of that's nonsense. How are we going to get a rhythm of a conversation going? That's what I want. I want to connect with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
All it takes is Twitch and some microphones. Look at us, we're connecting. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I know you guys are dying to look at your phones, so.
No, I mean, I have to look at the chat sometimes. I know you don't like to do that.
Okay?
I'm okay.
I do. Like,
I am dying to see what Apple TV is going to be. I've been a fan of the Apple TV, the different iterations all the way along, so I'm really excited to see if this is a big improvement.
I've been spending a lot of money in the iOS store lately. Mm-hmm. I just bought a game for $10, the XCOM Enemy Within.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I'll probably have some fun with this. I've still been playing Bad Dinos on the last flight I was on.
Yeah.
Like, I get some fun from those games. I like the tower defense.
Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, I like the tower defense.
I do like tower defense.
XCOM is amazing on a tablet. It's a great game.
Yeah, no, I do like tower defense as well. I downloaded Bad Dinos. I plan on playing that on my flight tonight, actually.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Saskatoon.
Oh, you're going to see your mom?
I'm going to see Mommy.
We've got a tremendous amount of airplane travel ahead of us in the next little while.
Well, you guys do.
We do, yeah.
I have to stay here and keep an eye on the office.
The cats. Your cats.
Yeah.
We're going, can we tell people? I guess we can tell people, right?
Yeah, I don't know. We can say what the things are for.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
Those are embargoed. But
we're going to London and Sweden.
Yes.
To Stockholm. So we're going to be doing some shows from the field, some fun stuff planned.
Yeah.
We are going to have a lot of fun. So I guess you and I will do
taking the show on the road.
Fixed Basement next week, or not next week, the following week.
2 weeks.
Yeah, from the UK.
That'll be awesome.
Which is going to be incredible.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure. I think it's going to be fun.
But
I'm sorry you can't come with us.
What time is it? 2 p.m. Pacific in the UK? Is that's 11 at night?
They're 8 hours ahead of us.
Okay, 10 at night.
2 p.m. in the UK is 6 a.m. here.
Perfect. Everybody up for 6 a.m. live Twitch? We good for that?
I think we have
I'm
to
up at
adapt
6.
to
I think
everyone
that's
else.
3 a.m. in the. No, that's 9 a.m. out east.
Anyway.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
We'll figure it out.
Blake, what are we
figure it out.
I have some great questions from the chat.
Okay.
Great.
Nothing from Stephen Nikolic because he hasn't asked me. Huh?
Don't tap the desk.
Don't tap the desk, Scott.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have any good
wants to
questions
be
from
on
Stephen
radio, though, so I
Nikolic
don't-
because he hasn't asked me any.
Okay.
First, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Jaylan, who I play
All right.
GTA with.
Shout outs are on your
Hey.
own show. Come on, Jesus.
Hey,
This is his show.
hey. Okay, so W. Dello
Yep.
wants to know, what do you guys snack on during gameplay?
Oh,
or
that's a
do you
great
snack
question.
at all?
Yes,
a great
I
question.
snack all the time.
Yes.
I'm
On
always
what?
snacking.
On what do you snack?
Okay,
Never,
so,
nothing.
go ahead.
No, you
We'll
go
go
ahead.
around the table.
You go
Can I
ahead.
start though? No.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I just,
Carrots once I had carrots.
that's it?
And then I had an onion.
Well, my favorite thing to do is, that makes sense.
A miserable show.
Yeah, carrots and an onion while I play video games. Not even
Hi, I'm Scott Jones. Welcome to my show. It's called The Miserable Show. Reading
I like
carrot.
to eat when I watch TV. When I'm gaming, I'm involved. I don't know. How do I have time for the reach for the snacks? I'm playing, man. I'm committed to this game. That's why I finish so many games.
After every
Part of his
every
VHS.
level of anything, I like to just go and make some more food. But what I like to do is pop my own popcorn, and then I have that popcorn, and then with a side of hot sauce, and I put some hot sauce on the popcorn, and then I'm always like, I have sometimes a game with a pillow, oh, and then I'll put like a napkin or something, or like a towel on the pillow, and then I'll play the game, eat, get my hands ready, but then I'll wipe it on
Smart.
the towel, and then go back to my controller because I am pretty greasy when
Smart.
I play video games, so I'm just trying not to, completely destroy my things.
I usually have tea. And
Yeah,
if
you gotta have tea.
If that goes cold, the game is good. Cornflakes, and if those go soggy,
The game is
the game
good.
is good.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get some. I like the coconut bliss ice cream.
Oh, coconut bliss, but you can't really play that.
If that melts,
The game is good.
You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
I am totally
I'm
engrossed.
picking up what you're putting down.
But if there are lots of load screens, then I'm fine, right? And there are a tremendous amount of load screens and cutscenes in games today, so I always feel like I
Like
can
you
take
do
a
have
little
time.
break, right? And
I have something else.
yes, what else do you do?
You really went on for a while
I-
the first time.
I went to the PNE for the first time in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And everybody was walking around with these things called floops. They had floops in boxes. Then I went to this thing and I saw a demonstration. They took frozen fruit, and they made it into ice cream. So I'm thinking, okay, sure, obviously I have to have this.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it and I take it home, and it's not as exciting as I thought it would be. But
Great name, though.
Floops is a
Yeah,
great name. Have
yeah.
it. So now I've
Also
been
my favorite Muppet.
experimenting every night with them. So I take frozen fruit. So after my popcorn, I try to make ice cream out of frozen fruit and eat that.
One
while
time
Very
I
good.
stopped to drop something off at Marissa's, and she came to the door, and she just had a feedbag strapped to her face.
And she handed you some muffins that she just made, right?
Yeah.
Eat these. I don't want to eat them.
Well, no, I do want to eat them. That's why I have to give them away. I usually also pause to bake something as well.
Marissa's
Guys,
the best
eating
friend you could possibly
and
have. I had
gaming, that's it.
zucchini bread today
Yeah.
at the movie. It was
Chocolate zucchini
amazing.
Eating over here, and
Yeah.
then there's gaming. So just don't do them together.
No,
it's
they
all
belong
good.
together. They go hand in hand.
I'm curious to hear what other people snack on. If people are brave enough to snack on Mountain Dew and Cheetos, I'd love to hear
Oh,
that.
Fresca and pretzels.
One
yeah,
thing you should
totally.
never do is chew on things that are loud if you have a hot mic in an online
True
game.
that.
That's
True that.
really fucking
Oh
annoying.
yeah,
Yes.
no, this is not when I'm playing online. I don't crunch, but
Yes.
also if it's Friday,
Gamer etiquette
if
101
it's
right
Friday,
there.
I do salt and vinegar potato chips. Oh, wait, that's my Friday treat.
Okay.
Friday's the fat night.
Friday's fat night. So
Which is today.
So,
Woo!
You're going home. You're not going to have fat. Oh, you have
oh, I'm
fat
having a
night
fat
tomorrow.
weekend because I'm going home. Yeah, Mommy will make me everything.
All right.
And I'll have lots of cheese. Oh, charcuterie. It's going to be charcuterie all weekend long. And that's what I like to do as well, is eat a lot of cheese while I'm gaming too. You shouldn't have asked that question. That was
Like,
like a...
what else
I never heard the word charcuterie until I met Marissa. She had to explain it to me.
Charcuterie. Vic can never have charcuterie,
No.
though. I can only tell you about it.
No.
Okay, Bearded Chopper wants to know thoughts on Cliff Bleszinski's LawBreakers reveal: are arena shooters dead?
Hardly. I think that's going to be hugely successful.
If I had to guess, I think he means in like a AAA sense. Is it all just freemium bullshit now?
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm guessing that's what he means. I don't know.
Right. It seems like this was the natural progression for the that side of competitive gaming to go. I mean, you want to grow your audiences. You want it to be like soccer, or football. You want it to feel like you could just go up and grab some friends together and go out and play on a field, right? And that's exactly what these MOBAs have been providing. And I think if you want to get into the multiplayer shooter thing, I wouldn't be surprised if Call of Duty has something very similar. I think they've been doing free Call of Duty stuff in Asia, and I wouldn't be surprised if Call of Duty really goes after that hard in North America. But yeah, LawBreakers looks great. I was really impressed with the whole concept. Not crazy about the name like everybody else, but I think it works with the context.
We don't even know what it is.
The moon has been shattered, and it's created a gravitational.
We've only seen, like this pre-release kind of video footage.
It's a multiplayer shooter like Unreal Tournament.
I get it, but
with abilities because there's gravity is gone.
I feel like everybody feels like Cliff should be doing something extraordinary, and he's kind of just doing something that's already exists.
He's not.
Right?
He's not sort of reinventing himself like he did with Gears.
Yeah.
But he is in the.
And I think it's too early. Like, who knows? I don't know if it'll be any good. But he kind of gave up on Epic and he moved on to do something else. So I wish him all the best of luck. But I don't know what's going to happen.
I think he did a tremendous amount of research, and I think maybe he didn't reinvent himself with the themes or the genre of game that he has crafted here. He's done this kind of thing before, but he has never given a game to the masses like this before. There is no barrier to entry, and Epic is also working on their own free-to-play thing. What's their game called? And I played a little bit of that during I had a really good time. I can't remember the damn game.
It's the new Unreal game.
No, it's not Unreal.
But they're making a free-to-play Unreal as well.
Probably, but
Unreal.
there's the people in the chat will tell us right now. But
Anyway,
it's a really cool game. It's part shooter. It's part team-based sort of construction. You're fighting against zombies and crazy magical beasts and things like that. I can't remember the damn game.
Sounds like we played that already.
They've worked on this thing for a long time, though, and it's incredibly robust, absolutely taking some ideas from Minecraft and also throwing in some of the shooter-type stuff that they have.
So, as usual, you're excited for it, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for LawBreakers. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
27, yes, you can go get any kind of recipes on my Instagram. I post my treats up there, too.
Very smart.
I'm Rob29.
You asked what some people snack on while playing. I have some answers for you.
Okay.
Rin7 says that he or she eats ice cream during games.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Bearded Chopper, Fresca, and pretzels.
That's a good one. Pretzels are great, especially if you have Nutella. You can dip pretzels in Nutella.
Yep. Omnimav, chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice.
Eat that
Chicken and rice.
That's a full-on meal.
Yeah. JBJ Blaze, our old friend, snacks on Ritz.
Oh,
That's what the
Ritz
place is
is
like.
a little too indulgent.
My friend Jaylan says cocaine and cheese.
Cocaine and cheese.
I heard that
All right.
cocaine is a hell of a drug. Speaking of cocaine, you and I have been watching a television show
Yes.
that the review is going to be
cocaine.
about the cocaine. Actually, there's a couple of shows about cocaine. Soon, there's one on Netflix now.
Narcos, you told me to watch
Called
that.
Narcos.
We'll probably review that, yeah.
Yes, so we're going to review that, hopefully. And then there's another one that you and I absolutely adore. It's
Yes.
called The Nick. It's on Cinemax, and it is phenomenal.
We
it is
see
such a good show.
Clive Owen go to the depths of hell in this show. He really gets...
To be discovering the use of cocaine, really,
Yeah.
like you think it's for medical use and how it's abused.
It's a hospital in 1900,
Yeah.
New York City, all kinds of
The
discoveries.
Knickerbocker.
Yeah, and I think it's all based on reality,
It's
right?
all based on real life.
Yeah, and
It's insane. You really have to watch it. Honestly, I implore you. Actually, first go to Netflix and watch Call the Midwife. Watch that, and then watch the show. It is so good.
Somebody watches a lot of TV.
Call the Midwife is a fantastic show
right.
as well. You should really should watch it.
And is it a series?
Call the Midwife. Yeah, it's a series.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing.
Yeah, but not as grotesque.
Okay.
I mean, it's still pretty graphic. But
It's
not
after
as good.
3. Are we done?
Can you stop? We started
Yeah.
at 2:15.
What?
We started at 2:15.
Oh, I didn't see your memo.
Oh my goodness.
I thought we were
Well,
done.
we were having technical issues as
Yeah.
usual. The game
Did you
that
wanna
Epic
talk
is
about
working
something?
on is called Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah.
Is that the one you were?
Yes.
They have a couple down the pipe, but I think
Yeah, Fortnite's really fun.
That's the fort.
Yes.
game. It's a play on words.
Right.
Because it takes place at night and you build.
Yes, exactly. You're building forts and then you're fighting all kinds of crazy
I
beasts.
feel like we played that already.
Vagabond Knights wants to know, Blake, can I be your friend? Yes.
Somebody said the Nick
He
is
only
about
accepts-
heroin. Heroin comes into
heroin
the
comes
picture later on, but cocaine is first.
Blake only accepts friends if you ask through Twitch, by the way.
That's right. So Scott, I'm sorry, you want to talk about something?
No, I thought we were done. I used up all my subjects.
Oh, so you
Okay.
you shut down then?
Do you mind if I
don't
shut down
have
for a
anything
while
else.
then, if we're all done with me, sir? I'll
would you
just
like to
drop
know?
into this oil
Well,
bath.
I would like to know what you're going to be doing this weekend.
Bloodborne.
Really? Still?
No, I gotta play Metal Gear.
Metal Gear!
You're solid yet.
Well,
Probably
really.
talk about that a little bit.
yeah, we can.
Yeah, we can talk
talk
about
about
as what we've discovered and
'Cause the game's
play
out,
style.
there's no embargo
The
anymore.
thing is though, the way that we shoot the reviews, we don't like to talk about them until we go because
Yeah.
we like to be surprised in the
I know how you're
conversation.
gonna feel about it, so I already know.
And
what
we
your
already
review's
know how
gonna
he's
be.
going to feel.
It's
so
a blast and you're miserable.
No, I'm trying to open my-
He's miserable.
I'm trying to open myself up to being good. Okay.
Well, here's what I will say about Metal Gear Solid 5. Kojima has really enjoyed a lot of the Ubisoft titles he's been playing recently.
Interesting. Interesting.
He
But
also
still long
is-
cutscenes, right?
He's very proud of himself too. His name appears at least every 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, he likes himself.
He likes himself a lot.
And I miss David Hayter.
Yeah.
It's so jarring
Yeah.
to go in, and I just don't even know what Kiefer Sutherland's doing. I don't even know who he is. I don't think he's real, and I think David Hayter's going to come back at some point.
You do feel that when you're playing the game, don't
No,
you?
I really do think
I know.
it's going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
And so I just this isn't the real guy. So and I don't know. I feel like Kojima I feel like he hates gamers. I feel like he's so mean to them, and he creates such difficult, painstaking experiences for gamers to get through it. And just even the way you start the game, we're not going to review it right now, but it's just like you're pushing this broken guy down a hallway, and it takes hours to get down this hallway, and you're just walking like this.
I totally disagree. I think
I know you do.
he wants to challenge the medium of what it means to play a video
No, I
game.
think he just feels
and
like,
every
fuck
Metal Gear
you,
game,
gamers.
every Metal Gear game, the more that you put into it, the more the mechanics just start to feel second nature.
I know you're gonna
And
say
by
that.
the end of
We've
it,
reviewed this before. We've
it's-
done this already.
this game is the easiest Metal Gear there has ever
Listen,
been to
I
play and
finished
jump
only
into.
one Metal Gear game.
Yes.
That was the first one.
And that was a tough game to get into,
But
and
I
then
got into it.
and then by the end of it, you're just like, oh my god, this is incredible, engrossing, and deep, and rich,
and it made me believe and love Kojima, and made me
Yeah.
believe and love the characters. And then the second
and
game
you've
was
never
like
forgiven him since
huge
Raiden. I know,
fuck you.
I know. A lot of
Like,
people,
what a
lot of
horrible
people,
game that was.
a lot of people checked out then. But Metal Gear 3 was a sensational game.
And 4 was hideous.
And 4 was fantastic as
Is
well.
there any confusion with this game though on the lineage of the
Yes,
snakes? Like,
yes.
Is there confusion still when you guys are
Yes.
playing?
Yeah, for sure,
They're all
because
confusing.
they are. Yeah, it's an unbelievably convoluted
because
plot.
Kojima hates gamers.
No, he doesn't.
He
He
does.
likes to tell.
He abuses them.
He likes to build things that challenge
He
us.
makes you
and,
sit there
and
and get through these horrible conversations with people.
no.
Yeah, it sucks.
There is
My
absolutely
life is too
some
short for
there's
that shit.
absolutely some over the top cheesiness in all of those games for sure, but he always has incredibly interesting characters and awesome situations and some powerful kind of messaging around
There's a guy who walks around who's on fire. That
yeah.
guy's interesting.
and some fantastical stuff for
He's
sure.
just
Yeah.
burning.
Yes,
He's
he
just
is.
He's just a burning man.
Yeah, and then
The Burning Man.
He's a,
It's funny,
he's a
I'm
literal
not spoiling anything, but the burning guy at the end of the hospital sequence, the burning guy walks out the front door of the hospital. I actually really like this. And then the fire truck goes screaming by, and the fire truck runs right into him and just gets wrecked completely.
Because of the burning man?
Yeah, he runs into the burning man and the fire truck gets wrecked on
Okay,
him.
look how happy you are.
No, I thought it was funny. I'm just like, what? I don't even know what's going on now. A fire truck wrecked down the
Do
burning
you know what
man.
would be even better? Because that happened in a cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be even better if
you played
you could
that.
do that in the game.
A
Yeah.
million things happen in a cutscene. That's another problem I have with this game. It's always the same way.
That's
It's
why
like,
I'm looking forward to the Metal Gear Solid movie.
watch like 45
Still, because
minutes
it's
of
basically
this.
just a movie that you're...
But Blake, back me up on this. You get those cutscenes, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you get handed the controls. And
All
you
of a
can't
sudden,
believe,
you mean
well,
an hour and a half later?
whatever. you get the controls, and then suddenly you're doing
you have to
things that you
understand.
thought you would only be able to watch as
I'm a drunk.
cutscenes.
Like playing this game was just impossible for a drunk because I would already have had 6 beers by the time I got through a cutscene and be like, this is fucked. This game, I can't play this. I'm already
Yeah.
drunk.
No wonder no snacking. Used to be
Yeah,
drinking.
Yeah, I used to drink when I'd game.
Right.
I can't snack when I game. It's my drinking time.
Right.
But you have to.
No, it's
You don't
yogurt.
replace it with. Oh, it's yogurt.
Fucking hell. Almonds and yogurt.
Party at Scott's house with yogurt and
I know,
cats.
it's not fun. I have cats and I go to bed early.
Okay, I have a question from AJ Pam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or a Jap AM, I don't know. Question: do you think we'll see any more full-price games that are completely unique, like Shadow of the Colossus or Catherine, or is development too expensive now?
Too expensive.
No, that's
in
not
the indie
true.
scene. It's the indie side.
No,
Only
no,
on the indie
that's
side.
not true. I think there will be, games, maybe they won't, but from Atlas or something like that, that will be full price, that will be a risk.
I think it's very rare.
It's going to be much more rare,
Very
for
rare.
sure.
Last Guardian.
Last Guardian almost ruined, the whole relationship that what's the guy's name? Fumito Ueda had with Sony. That was a very tumultuous development cycle. We still don't have the game.
Like Kojima has this bad blood with Konami, and Ueda has bad blood with Sony.
It's money, man. It's money. It comes down to the amount of time and money it costs to build these things these days. And I think that the industry has just said, okay, well, we did this for this price, and everybody needs more money now, so we're going to go, budget's now this price, and it's going to take this much longer.
Now games are $80.
And they're not selling more. That's the real story,
Well, if
is
you
that
go
they're
back-
not reaching more people.
If we could go into a time machine,
yeah.
we could go back to a game store from 10 years ago, and it would look very different than the game stores are now.
Yeah.
Now
Sure.
we see like 100 copies of Assassin's Creed, and back then you would not. I mean, you've been going through all your stuff recently. Like, there was so much shit that they were making back then.
Yeah.
So much, like, just crazy,
Well, we just don't
ridiculous
see
things.
as much of it now because we download it.
I mean, I sound like an old man saying this, but I miss the days when we had felt like there were more options, and now I feel like instead of having 100 options, now we have like 20.
Well,
No.
in terms of what we know from a traditional console experience.
Even at E3 this year, it's like just everything's an echo that we've already heard. Very, very, very few things.
Yeah, but then we
were
have
original.
some great iOS surprises and some great
No,
indie
that's
surprises.
That's the only way to look.
I mean, that's where
iOS and indie. That's it.
It's shifted into that direction. That's not wrong, and I think it's a natural progression. Those risks that the developers used to take, and we're getting into the business bullshit. I firmly believe that the publishers should have figured out how to step up to keep these other developers that had to go off and kind of live in their garages and go back home and scrape together enough money and didn't know if they're going to have food on the table to build these things. I feel like the publishers should have had more stuff together to be able to weather this transition, so that those developers could have gone off and built us some really fascinating things.
Yeah.
But in spite of that, developers, because of their sheer drive to build games, have been doing that, and now we are starting to get some really amazing, almost AAA production caliber type titles that are coming from small teams, which is
Yeah.
amazing.
Optimistic today.
I just, yeah. 'cause
Well,
I-
it's because when you were sick for that year, that was the
It was dark.
it was a dark year,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it was a dark year in games. Last year was a really crap year for games, and this year it's a pretty fantastic year for
Still
games.
pretty crappy.
I don't agree with that.
Look at all the stuff up ahead. It's all stuff that we've played before.
Yes, but then if you throw in the indie stuff and you throw in some awesome iOS stuff and you throw in
We
the
need more
shake-ups,
platforms than Steam. We need more. Like, iOS isn't enough. Google
Yeah.
Play isn't enough. We need more platforms.
well, I think we just need to stop
Was that
making
your
it.
stomach?
No, it was my pants on the seat.
I think we just need to make it. We have to make it. Stop making it so difficult for people to get to good games. Stop having to make a system choice and a platform choice and spend too much to get in, and you don't know if you get the full game. I mean, that's what's got to change in the business. Is people need to feel like they get tremendous value and an incredibly rewarding artistic experience.
I didn't mind buying Enemy Within it was $10 or
Yes.
something, but I thought this is way more than I would spend for an iOS game. But I thought there's going to be a lot of game here, and it's worth $10.
Yeah.
And I think that's a new way of thinking. And I've been buying a lot of games for a lot of years. But I think I hope more people are thinking that way.
Apple's really trying to kind of shake things up that way to get people out of the free-to-play mentality, because they see that the long game won't be just these never play anything. I mean, the free-to-play stuff, they're not really about the video game business. They're about their business. They're
Right.
about what they do.
But going back to the question, it was about. I just don't know if people can be creative and make new things. I don't know if they don't have like how can you I'm just scared for these big companies.
Who's
and
the guy who made No More
making
Heroes?
something creative and something new, because you need money for
that
these
guy?
things, but you also need to be
Suda51.
Like, there's no room for him anymore on
No.
the console side.
Well, he'll
boat's
probably
too small.
kickstart his thing.
Yeah, that's the only way that he makes more games.
Or he'll get the public to invest in be partners with
But
him
the
and what he's
days
stuff.
of him having console games are behind us.
And that's what we're seeing with Hideo and Konami, for sure. I'm sure Konami's like looking at the expense receipts and the price tag.
Look what Inafune did.
Yeah.
Guys, remember back in the day with Atari, how they used to party?
They used to party and they used to take their people for granted, and then half their people left and said, "Screw that, we're gonna go start Activision."
They made a whole bunch of ETs and they buried them in a desert.
That's a good doc. You guys should watch it.
I mean, that's part of it, is that the business never really kind of matured out of its, like, this is just a technical.
I think it's a grow-up time, though.
It is now, yeah. And it's an entertainment industry, and it needs to talk about itself like it's an entertainment industry. Not just about widgets and features and polygons.
We're evolving, but very slowly.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more robust again.
Okay.
I'm just reading the chat. It's getting political.
Yeah, it is getting super political in the chat.
Anyway, we like
People
to
are
have
talking
these
politics in the chat.
If Scott were
yeah.
prime minister, everything would end.
If I was prime minister?
Yeah. He's not allowed to be prime minister. Number one, he doesn't speak French, and number two, he's American.
Do you have to speak French
Yes.
if you're prime minister?
You can learn how to
That's not
speak
a
French in like 2 weeks.
No, you have to know how to speak French. No, but
French
you
for
need
2
to
years.
Not
because
like the
you
law.
but you need to when you debate though you need to speak French too.
You probably wouldn't get elected if you did it, but
Well, that's what I
it's not
mean.
like it's the law.
Also, I'm American.
No, but you have
Yeah,
to
that's the
speak
main
French.
thing.
Yep, they really don't like to put
Americans
Americans
in
in the
charge.
Canadian White House. You guys have a
Anything.
Canadian White House up here.
You don't need to be an
It's a beaver house.
What do you guys have?
It's a beaver house.
It's a
A
beaver
white log
house.
cabin? Is that
Yeah,
what it is?
yeah.
So we're almost out of time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, what are we watching and playing?
Oh, can I go first?
Yes.
Yes. You
Oh my God. guys.
Bloodborne.
I watched so much of a good TV show lately.
What is it?
You
Cheers.
know, my friend, it's not Cheers. Vic.
Friends.
Vic.
What is it?
Friends.
It's this TV show by Louis C.K. called Louis. The
Okay.
new season is amazing. I'm up to episode 8, and now I gotta wait because I just have a subscription through the iTunes thing. But this is some of the best TV I've ever seen.
Right.
I just love it. He's a single dad. He's got 2 daughters. He's a comedian. It's him traveling. He's hugely successful in real life. I don't know who this character is that he's playing, also named Louis. But
Version of himself.
I love it though. I just really love it. I feel like it's so poetic, it's so adult, it's so mature, and it's everything that I want every movie that we go to see to be, and it never comes close. So
Right.
Louis is what I'm watching this weekend.
What are you gaming on?
I don't think it's new. People are saying. I think it's been out for a while.
I think this season is new, or else it just got released in Canada. The new season is out.
Okay.
And gaming, I have to play Metal Gear this weekend. You know, we
Yep.
went over
I
this
have to
already.
play Metal Gear.
Yeah.
It's funny the way you pronounce it. Metal Gear.
Why? How do you pronounce it?
How do you pronounce crayon?
Cran.
Crane.
Somehow this is
Americans.
Yeah, that's how we say it. It's
Americans.
Ridiculous.
All right. I'm playing Metal Gear as well.
Hamburgers.
I'm playing Metal Gear as well.
Yep.
Say it like Scott says it. Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Metal
And
Enunciation.
I want to play a little more Disney Infinity.
You know, the thing is, you have to play a lot more Disney Infinity. That game is massive.
Yes.
And if I were home this weekend,
Oh, and Super Mario Maker.
yes. Well, that's what I made a note for myself
review
to
air?
learn more about Toy Box.
Today it
I
aired.
want to
Yeah.
play
Okay,
more
good.
Toy
The
Box.
Super Mario Maker review aired today. Guess what Vic's score is, and guess what mine is. Okay, you're right.
Find out on EPN.
It's a blast.
It's a blast.
It's a blast. It is terrible. Sun, rain, puppies, cats. Okay.
You're the referee. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. What about you? Oh, you're going home.
I'm going to Saskatoon. So what
So
up, Saskatoon?
you're playing the eating game.
I'm playing the eating game. I'm playing the game of how much charcuterie can I eat before I pass out. And
See if you can set a new
no,
record.
you know what? No, whenever I go home, I play.
And Mom does the laundry game as well?
No.
No? Okay.
I play a lot of Settlers of Catan. Actually, I play a lot of board games with my
Oh,
family. So we
that's
do.
cool.
You know, when you come back, you can come in through the service entrance
I don't know what that. Why?
for bigger people.
Is that
Okay,
a
that's
second?
nice.
And what I'm watching, and have you guys seen this, Mr. Robot? Have you watched the first
I
episode?
have. That's all that's available. Okay.
What's up with that?
It was a great first episode.
I know, it was excellent. I'm totally jonesing, no
For
pun
sure.
intended, for more of this show. Where is it?
Was so excited because I had something positive to say.
Yes,
I
it's
didn't
so
have a piece
cool.
of shit entertainment that I had to rail against
Yeah,
to save everyone
yeah.
from it.
Cheer up,
And-
Sonny.
That
Before we
is
go,
an
I need-
amazing first episode.
Yes.
Yeah, I seriously have watched it twice. It was great.
It's really, really, really cool. That guy's eyes are like
Oh man, they're just-
unbelievable.
Yeah, they just
Like-
made me want to go get gumballs.
Oh my god. Before we go, I need to make one confession with something that I started watching on Netflix.
Yeah.
I always need things to have on in the background. I don't like being alone really, so I always like having something on.
Yeah.
And my new Netflix thing that I don't really pay attention to that's on right now, Scandal.
Okay.
Jesus, how much TV do you watch?
Okay. All right.
I've never seen the show before. Everyone talks about
my
the show.
God.
Shonda Rhimes. Okay, so thanks so much for watching, everybody.
Thanks for
And
coming,
if you're in
everybody.
Saskatoon, say hi to me.
Stitcher.
I'll be out there on the streets.
Are you
Stitcher.
gonna see Noodle Cake?
Thank
Don't punch my
you.
Thanks
Yeah,
for coming,
probably.
everybody.
Thank you.
Add me on PSN, Beth
Happy long
Lucas.
weekend. Labor Day.
See you next week.
Vic's Basement would like to thank its sponsors, EB Games, Nintendo, Xbox, and Game Loft.